to take our country back. Are you sure? Say DNA. DNA. Thank you so much. Thank you. It is wonderful to be here tonight at our first DNA convention, proving the naysayers wrong, that we are here to say to my party leader, Mr. Bramble McCartney and Mrs. McCartney, to our chairman, Mr. Andrew Wilson, to party delegates and executives, it is a pleasure to be here. I also want to say thank you to my beautiful wife and my family. And I want to thank all of you here and all of you watching via television or streaming online. I want to thank you for having the courage to think differently and to believe in the power of now. Have you ever taken the time to view the Commonwealth of the Bahamas from space? If you haven't, you should. American astronaut Mark Kelly tweeted to his 421,000 followers that this country is the most beautiful place from space. He also said that there is nothing like it on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bahamas is undoubtedly the most unique little country in the world. Truly blessed. Our location itself is an industry, and it makes us a gateway to the world. And this is because of God's virtue and God's great design that this country has been given a wealth of natural resources. And we know their names. Count them with me. Sun, salt, marine, the airspace, the land, and the almighty aragonite. The natural resources have the ability to not only unleash a new era of development for our country, but to drive us towards full employment and to propel us to a first world destination. But this natural wealth must be put into the service of every Bahamian and not to a select minority. And the DNA believes in this so strongly that in coming to office, the DNA will move to implement a 21st Century Sovereign Wealth Fund Act, under which all natural resources will be independently administered so that the profits from the exploitation of these resources will be used to further develop the country. The Sovereign Wealth Fund will operate under three guiding principles. First, to derive the maximum benefit from our natural resources in order to guarantee the right of free education to every Bahamian all the way to the University of the Bahamas. Secondly, to provide proper funding in the development and the sustaining our national health insurance program. And lastly, to assist in raising the pay of government employees. My fellow colleagues and Bahamians, there's no reason I can think of that Bahamians from every walk of life cannot live their best lives here in this country. And yet we are, plagued by a broken system, overseen by politicians that spend every day keeping you out of the ownership pool. I'll tell you one thing, DNAs, and I'll tell you one thing, Bahamas. That day comes to an end under a DNA government. The vision of economic ownership was a promise made to each and every one of us, and it will breathe anew again, and we can do it. The DNA is thinking differently. because we need affordable, reliable power, because that is the lifeblood of any growing economy, and we are no different. However, as the world advances into a renewable energy future, this country has hitched its wagon to a dying era. Bunker C and diesel engines is not the future. And a forward-looking progressive country, it is time for renewable energy in the Bahamas. And so, the DNA will introduce sustainable energy plans which will drive down the cost of electricity by more than 50%. We will take advantage of our perpetual light and sunshine and eradicate those unnecessarily high bills. How many of you have come home after a long day? Come home, turn the key, hot, humid. Don't lie. It's so humid this summer when you open the door, the humidity slap you in the face. That's what we got in this Bahamas. And in the face of well-documented equipment failures, mounting financial issues, and rolling blackouts, and rolling blackouts, what explanation have we gotten? Zero. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when we say we think differently, this is how we address the problem. The DNA proposes our Clean Power Project, which is a multi-stage billion-dollar project because we have to invest in ourselves. And we will convert power generation at Clifton Pier to the General Electric's LM6000 aeroderivative gas engines, and it can be done within 4 months. Don't let them tell you it can't be done. It can be done. And it can be done at 12 cents a kilowatt hour. We will also commit to a target of 40% renewable power by 2027. We will amend the Electricity Act, since they went and changed it, but we will amend it again to legalize solar on your house, solar on your business, and the ability for you to sell power back to the grid. We will enter into a purchase power agreement for a waste-to-energy facility in New Providence to fix the dump. And lastly, and I know some people, they like to call it our drop cord, but that's okay. We will invest in building out a bidirectional HVDC, high-velocity direct current submarine connector cable with the United States. And here's why. People will tell you we don't want to be dependent on the United States. That's small thinking, DNAs. Because when we got solar on your house, and on your house, and in your business, and on your business, we're going to use that to sell power back to the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Bahamians, once we fully unveil our platform, and we will, very soon, including plans for the energy sector reform, you can expect the naysayers to come out of the woodwork, as they always have. They will try to convince you that our ideas are too grandiose, too impossible to achieve, too expensive, and but when they do that, this is what I want you to do. I want you to look them straight in the eye and say to them, sit small. The 21st century Bahamas that we want to create has no room for small minds that only produce small ideas. We are dreaming big, DNAs. We are thinking differently. We are going to transform this country. Because that's what DNAs do. The DNA also has a comprehensive plan to fully take advantage of other natural resources. And you know what they are. They're too many, but the one I want to talk about tonight is our land. We have, as a country, about 2.5 million acres of crown land, 900,000 of which is wetlands, leaving about 1.8-ish million acres of crown land. What I want to say to you tonight, DNAs and Bahamas, the DNA is going to take that crown land and we are going to make it available to you. We're going to take at least 500,000 acres of that. We're going to recategorize it. Tourism, manufacturing, education. And we are going to make it available to you to develop your country. The residential and commercial land will be for the Bahamian public only. And we will also allow for the Bahamas Development Bank, a recapitalized Bahamas Development Bank, to allow you the financing to purchase at cheap rates. And a significant portion of this land will be used to expedite our national development plan, which calls for the strategic placement of various projects in family islands around our archipelago. For example, the creation of flagship schools called for in our educational plan, the science and technology and film and creative arts, and that's for Grand Bahama. To facilitate the development of these schools, we will need to provide land to those persons qualified and identified for working in these schools, and these will be provided at no cost. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a country that you should be proud of. Yes. We have a nation that you should be proud of. Yes. And after 40 years of being promised that you can be the economic owners of this country, it has been a dream denied. The reason why I love this country so much is because you have the opportunity to create a vision, a future for your children and your children's children. But we cannot allow petty politicians to take it from us. It is going to be important for you to stand. They're going to come and test you, DNAs. They test our leader every day. Tell him he's arrogant. You tell them that he is strong. You tell them that he knows what he's doing. You tell him that he has a team that's helping him. You tell him we got executives that know what they're doing too. We got amazing candidates that will take this country to the 21st century. DNAs, are you ready? Are you ready to change this country? Are you ready to be first world? Then DNAs, stand for me. Put the finger in the air and tell everybody that if you believe that this can be the best country the world has ever seen, say DNA. Thank you.